1, start. Well, welcome to Android App Addicts, episode number 8. In this show, we talk about Android apps. We have a bunch of guys or girls come in and bring some apps to the table. And we talk about them, discuss them, argue about them, love them, hate them, do everything we can to them. And it's a good time. So I'm glad you guys are joining us. If you want to watch us live on video, you go to justin.tv/podnutz. We do live shows now. This show airs 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday, so check us out. Let's introduce the guests, the co-hosts. On the top of your screen is Steve McLaughlin, the Door-to-Door Geek from doortodoorgeek.com. What's up, Steve?
Hello, all.
In the middle of your screen, Tim Kelly from timscomputerfix.com. Hello, Tim.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Steve.
The bottom right-hand quadrant of your screen is Steve D'Amico from smdcomputer.net. Hey, Steve.
Hey, on the bottom where I belong.
You look good down there. It fits the color. It fits the color scheme. That's why you're down there.
Yeah.
Don't read into that. Now, guys, did you find any good apps this week?
Yeah.
I think I did.
You did?
I think so.
I have a week showing this week. Very weak. I had a horrible week. Not a lot of time to play.
You know, that's the hard thing about these apps is there are plenty of gems, but there's plenty of not gems.
I agree. All right, Dor, why don't you go first this week? What'd you bring for us?
Okay, well, the first thing I wanted to bring was a piece of digital crack cocaine that I cannot stop playing, and it is like Sim City, only a little bit less detailed, and it's called Hotel Mogul Lite. Real basic concept. You're a scorned woman who's trying to buy her ex-husband's real estate business, and you have to go through a couple tutorials, building property, upgrading property, demolishing property to try to make money. And it's like Sim City in the fact that you have lands and areas and types of places you can build, material you have to buy, workers you have to hire. And it's just, I can't stop.
Hotel Mogul Lite. I love this little story. Lynette's conniving husband has cheated her out of her family business.
Right.
It's pretty cool. How's the gameplay? I mean, the story's unique. The gameplay's good, huh?
The gameplay is good. It's a little fast-paced. It's perfect for touch devices because you basically touch a lot of land, touch build, touch what you want to build, touch the, it's just built for the back and forth. And once in a while, money pops above a house. You click the house, you get the money,
Cool.
And in the first time you play the game, you boot it and you're thinking, when can I start playing the game? Because it does take you through a little story. It like comic bookish blocks pop up and text pops out, and then they fade back, and then more come up, and yeah. And the tutorial
10 levels, Door. Yeah, have you got through them?
I've been taking my time, making sure I've been getting gold on them all, and I think I am up to 7 or 8. And the full product I think was only like $2.60, which goes against one of my prime beliefs about applications on phones is never buy them, because all game manufacturers get to a point, stop development, and then release 2011 version and charge you for that one as well. Standalone applications for like note-taking will always push that to the next upgrade, the next upgrade, the next upgrade. So you pay for it once and you get it for life, like Dog Catcher. There's no Dog Catcher 2 coming, But I'm really coming close to spending a little money.
Really? You don't buy games?
I don't believe in buying games on phones because I've seen too many of the applications where this is really good. And then I get ready to go look at the paid version and I see, wait a minute, this one is this one. The same company then put out Baseball Stars 2010, Baseball Stars 2011, Baseball Stars Pro. And it's like they just keep revving the games.
I see. Yeah. That's an interesting viewpoint. I never thought about that way. By the way, Baseball Stars, that's the most classic Nintendo game ever. I've spent years of my life playing that game, like literally straight.
Oh, I know. And that's what I was hoping Baseball Stars was, and it really isn't. The only thing you can do is pitch the ball, hit the ball, steal the bases.
Really? That's it?
And then that's it. Everything else is automated.
That's lame.
Yeah.
All right. Good one. You got anything
Yeah.
else for us?
Well, and I'll just say, even though that's my rule, I still might end up buying the game. But yeah, the other one I had is an application that I actually, to a certain degree, hate. But I'll say the concept of the application, the presentation of the application, and the functionality, I think, is top frigging notch.
Okay.
And that is the Big App Show.
Okay, we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I heard about this.
Well, I heard about it for the iPhone, and I caught it maybe 3 days after it got released to the Android. And what it is it's a single stupid application on your phone. Every day, the website is updated.
If you don't use an Apple iPhone or iPod Touch, it can be a
that's
bit
why I
challenging.
hate it. I'm trying to show the fans the website, and then he goes ahead and breaks the cardinal rule of website design, which is don't start an annoying loud music file or voice file. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm calm.
And what it does is you launch the app. It basically goes to the website, picks up today's video, and displays the screen ready to play. The other thing I like is that the video is purposely sideways, where you can see the play button and the time thing on the side of the screen. So it's like they literally turn the camera sideways to do it. So when you're watching it, he's standing up. Behind him is a running live session of his phone, and he basically just talks about an app, says what he thinks about it. Then when the video's over, at the very top is a little button to click, get this app. And when you're at that same screen, you can swipe to the side and go to the older videos. So it's ingenious because the app is nothing. The app, I'm sure, is a teeny little bit of nothing. And then as soon as you hit play, it just streams the video from the internet.
So it just plays a video.
That's all it is.
And it changes every day?
Every day there's a new app. Yeah.
Very good idea. I do have to, you have to give him that. Great idea. And it's cool. I mean, it's so simple yet cool. We should do it with this show.
We need the programmers.
We got. Don't you guys have your app? What's it called? App Inventor?
Android App Inventor. I'm sure it should be possible with that, but that is definitely a kid glove version of making applications.
It just has to play a video. That's all it's got to do. I say we make our own app.
Okay.
And we won't have an annoying voice message playing when we go to the website.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll just have the MIDI sounds or something.
Yeah, I love MIDI sounds.
Oh,
Cool, Dora.
on your Angel Fire site.
Oh.
Let's not give him a hard time.
Oh.
He's trying. He's trying to make it in this world. All right. Anything else, Dora?
That was just those two apps. I just wanted to throw them out there. I know Hotel Mogul is a cheap pick, but it really was fun for the SimCity-ish build, tear down, wheel and deal thing.
Cool.
I love games like that.
All right, Timster, you're up.
Okay. This is kind of neat. It's something called Chrome to Phone. And one of the things that this application does is, first of all, you have to use the Chrome browser. And what it allows you to do is you just add a Chrome to Phone extension in the Chrome browser. And one of the things it allows you to do is you can highlight a phone number in your browser, and you can send it directly to your phone, and it will loading your phone into the phone. It'll automatically dial that number. And you say, wait a minute, Google Voice does that. Do you say, well, that's not all Chrome to Phone does. Chrome to Phone also sends links from Chrome to your phone. It also, any Google Maps link, it opens the Google Maps application on your Android phone. Any YouTube links, you can send to your phone, and automatically launches the YouTube application on the Android phone.
So what kind of interface is it?
And you can select any text, and it will automatically copy that text to your phone, which I found it very useful for some of my on-site stuff. I was gathering some information from my computer, doing some research on configuring certain networks, And I was like, man, I got to have this. So I just highlighted the text and sent it straight to my Evernote application onto my phone, or I copied it onto my Evernote application onto my phone. So yeah, it's a free application and it works on any Android phone.
What kind of, do you have your phone there? What kind of interface is this? I kind of get the concept. I think it's cool, but how does it appear on your phone? You open up the Chrome to Phone app, and then it says, what do you want to look at? Links or maps or?
No, you install the app on your phone, and there's really no interface for that. Basically, what you do is then you also install the extension into Chrome,
right?
And then every time you can like highlight a link.
Mm-hmm.
And right-click it, and it'll give you the option to send it to your phone. And when that goes to your phone just automatically goes to that link. Or say you want to highlight text and you want to copy text to your phone, you highlight it on your computer.
Yeah.
Right-click the text, and then it goes to your clipboard on your phone.
It goes to the clipboard. So it doesn't, like, what if you're like doing something on your phone? It just appears when you hit Chrome to Phone on your browser. It just appears on your phone, or what?
There's a setting where it'll automatically show up on your phone, or there's a setting where you can manually choose it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, I don't know what reason you would have to. I guess there'd be plenty of reasons why. I mean, you want to like play a YouTube video on your phone and see how it looks. So you just send it to your phone. Your phone automatically goes to the YouTube app and starts playing that video. Or you can set it not to go automatically, but it'll you can select on your phone manually to go to that link.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
And so manually you would have to open up the app and say go to the link.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I have mine on auto. I'm not sure how you manually select that. I have to look into that, but I know the auto works really well.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'll say the only reason I honestly forgot about this app was because it's only for 2.2 Froyo. And I was trying other apps, and my whole hang-up was the ability to take text, put it on the phone, and then be able to copy and paste the text. This is the thing it took me forever to do.
With Chrome to Phone it did? Or
no, this was before I was on 2.2. I had to, the only way I could get copyable text to the phone was via Evernote.
Gotcha. This sounds neat. I still don't have the complete concept of how it'll work. I'm going to try it. I put it in my Remember the Milk list to install this, so I definitely want to check it out. Which I am using, and I do like. It's very cool.
That app is using that 2.2 feature. One of the kind of sub features that people didn't really completely care about was that feature of being able to kind of send something from the cloud to the phone.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Neat. That's cool.
Remember the days of no copy and paste?
Yeah.
What does that remind you of? Is it the I what?
That was the joke idea of the show. It was I what?
I what?
I what?
I like it, Timster. You got any more? Or is that it?
This is a really simple app. It's called Stop Calling Me. And I mean, basically all it is it's an app when you install it on your phone. When you select, it's got a real simple interface. It's a convenient app to enable you to quickly and easily add your new phone's number to the U.S. government do not call list. So not only can you just add your phone number to it, but you can add any phone number to it. You just bring up the app. It'll ask you for the number you want to send to the do not call list. You type the number in and click send, and it's done.
Dude, it's awesome. I was wondering how to get on that list.
That's cool.
So that really simplifies that. And I love the name.
Yeah.
Stop Calling Me.
Yeah, the only thing I was worried about with that application was it wasn't put out by the federal government. So who was it put out by, and is this guy capturing your information? I mean, I was worried about that, but then when I downloaded it, because you told me to, ran it, bam, everything legit, ran like a charm.
Okay.
It did.
Cool.
Yeah. And you can go online and verify that you are on the list. And I had a buddy, when I told him about it, he said he went and double checked it. It took like 1 day for his phone number to show up, but he was there.
Cool.
That is pretty
Yep. Got another really, really simple app. It's free. It's called G-Docs. And if anybody is like me, I use a lot of Google Docs, a lot of spreadsheets, whatever. And it's really a pain on your Android phone to go in and try to edit those going through the browser interface.
Yeah.
But what this does is scales everything down to a different view, and it really just makes editing Google Docs a whole lot simpler.
Good. I could have sworn I downloaded this before and I couldn't edit my docs from this app. Did they change that?
I've always been able to.
You have?
It's been my go-to app from ever since I've had my phone. So
Damn, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know why, but it works great for me. Any of my spreadsheets, anything.
Yeah, here's the only thing with the regular text apps is it does take a lot of the formatting out. And I don't know how you can do hyperlinking in it. But if you need to just edit documents or create documents, that's what I use it for, creating documents that I don't have to worry about. They're automatically synced. This is a very good app.
Yeah, I mean, it's not robust. I mean, it is a little bit limited, but if you're on the go and you have to access your docs and make some changes, boom. I mean, it's the go-to app.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm putting that in Remember the Milk too.
I actually have this app. I had this app a long time ago, and I stopped using it. And you're absolutely right, Dora. I didn't even realize it. I haven't been using it so long. But it does remove all the formatting. It removes pictures. It removes coloring. It removes just about everything. But the picture text remains. I wonder if you edit it. I wonder what happens to the formatting.
I can tell you on documents I had that had heavy formatting, everything stayed. Everything still worked. It's just on the local phone copy, I couldn't see any. Now, I didn't have crazy formatting in this document, but everything I did have stayed fine.
It's pretty nice. It actually it's a lot better than it used to be. When I first installed it, I hated it, and then I just never uninstalled it. But this is a lot better now. So
they did update it.
It's been definitely updated.
Okay, I knew I installed it too, and I didn't like it. I do know that.
Well, and honestly, everybody knows I have almost 200. I actually have over 200 apps on my phone. One of the reasons I install an app and I don't necessarily like it, but I like the concept, I typically leave it on my phone just so I know when it gets updated.
Okay, really? That's it?
Well, there's a couple apps, not a whole lot, but there's a couple that I have like that.
Cool.
Okay.
Good one, Timster.
Hey, can you guys see on my camera there this wallpaper?
Yes, that's very neat.
Cool. It's called the Aquarium Live wallpaper, and
it's
awesome.
not called the battery drainer?
It can be called that too. Yes, it is awesome.
It looks nice. What is it? It's your wallpaper? It's actually your background?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, serious? Does it kill your battery?
It definitely drains your battery. Not as bad as you might think, but yeah, it does take a little toll on it. But if there's any place I'm going where I think I might want to show my phone off, I'll just switch to that live wallpaper real quick.
That's pretty neat. Now we should do a whole show on apps just to show off, like show off apps. Apps that actually make people want to buy a Droid phone.
Absolutely.
I actually think one of my apps is a show off app more than anything. But cool, man. Those are great apps. All right. Anything else, Timster? Or are we going to Steve D?
You go to Steve D.
Steve D, what do you got for us this week?
Right off the bat, my favorite thing has been lately the new features for Dropbox. I mentioned it before. Last time I was on, you being able to select multiple files and then upload it directly to your Dropbox. That's one of my favorite things, especially for pictures that I take. And these phones, they have such great cameras that it's such a wonderful situation to be able to combine a great camera on your phone to your Dropbox, instantly back up the good pictures that you just took on whatever situation you are, vacation, whatever it might be. That's one of my favorite things on the phone. But definitely up there with one of my favorite things is a program called Nessoid, It's all one word, NESOID, and it's an emulator for the Nintendo game system. And there's a little legal thing kind of going on. You get the ROMs in your own way. Technically supposed to be able to have the cartridges, and
plug them into your Android phone.
You're supposed to have the cartridges and then whatever else. But this is a very popular app, and I think it's the only one that's worth getting on the phone. That's an emulator for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the original, and it's fantastic. It's constantly being updated. It's well worth the money. It works really good. They're constantly like making it better and improving it. It's one of those. The developer for this is really he's enthusiast, not just a developer.
Right.
And there's also another one. He makes, I think, 3 of them.
How much is this one? $4?
You know what? I think it was. I know SNES OID, which is the Super Nintendo one, is I think $4.
This is $3.98.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That ain't bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad at all. And I think when I bought the Nesoid, I think it was like $8. This is what I remember, but it's been a long time. I've had this for a while, and I love it. It works so good. So happy with it.
It's got killer reviews.
Yeah, and I was add one thing.
So the sticky legal thing would be the ROMs, but really, who hasn't owned Super Mario Brothers? I mean, so
I know, really. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in my logic, no agent is ever going to kick down your door for apps for ROMs on your phone. Now, if you're going through customs, if you get somebody super anal, they might try to say something, but it's petty. The one thing about the app I like, when you're at the game picking list, menu, ROM Buddy, you can get this app for less than $3. It does a fantastic job scouring the internet for games that you want that you can freely download.
ROM Buddy, it's called?
Yeah. It's actually built in to the app where if you buy it, you just go click ROM Buddy, do a search, and you download.
Yeah, as far as ROMs, I mean, this is the kind of thing that even an ethical person tries to be legal and legit about it, and then goes, "Oh, this is just too much of a pain in the ass," and then just downloads the ROMs. That's how people handle ROMs. I think even the guys that care say, "Oh, this is just too much of a pain. I'm just going to download it." But
From what I understand, it's legal to own a ROM, but if you have the cartridges.
Right.
I mean, whatever, but like unlike where some where like the original DVD situation was, even if you had it, you still can't rip it. It's like so silly. You can't copy your own DVD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's because there's encryption involved, and you would have to circumvent encryption. They say with the ROMs there is no encryption, and the gimmick is about these emulators, which I think is fantastic. You can save state, and here's a perfect example of how to cheat, quote unquote, on a game. Everybody played Tecmo Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy!
Before you're picking your play, save state. Okay, and if you're on offense, save state, then pick a run. Oh, they picked your play. Load that state, pick a different play because they picked the run.
Oh, that's such a fun way to play football.
It's so bad. It's the perfect thing if you really want to pwn a game
Right.
Prince of Persia, was it, where it was so uncommonly difficult.
I thought it was Ikari Warriors.
No, that game was easy.
No, it was not easy. You can't beat Ikari Warriors.
No, with I know. Like Steve said, if you played normally with 3 guys, forget it. But if you do up, down, left, right, BA, start, you're in.
I can tell you,
that was
me and my
Contra.
buddy got very far with only 3 men, like second to the last level. But Prince of Persia is one of those games. I've never seen anybody do any good on the game. It's so difficult, and it's because the controls are complex.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things.
All right.
I love it.
Anything else, Steve?
That and you know what? I actually wanted to ask. I want to ask Dora about rooting my phone, because that's something that I've been, I don't know, I've been really just been so happy with my phone that I really kind of felt like, what's the point of rooting it?
Right.
But then the wireless, the whole wireless hotspot thing, that's just killing me. I just gotta get that done. That's just gonna be so cool, so much fun to play with. But what I looked at some of the ways of doing it, but there was like, you know, it's like a 8 or 9 step process, and I was like, and I kind of lost interest kind of after like the 3rd step. I guess it's a little extreme laziness. But isn't there, especially when I heard that, isn't there like a 1 step, like, didn't you mentioned a few times there's like a 1-click route, right?
For the Motorola Droid.
There's 2 popular methods of 1-click rooting. One of them is at unstableapps.com, and it's called Easy Root. It's an application. You launch it, a button pops up. It says root me. Click it, and seconds later, your phone's rooted. You have to reboot to finish the rooting process. You just power it off, power it on, and you're rooted. You can do whatever you want. And then you launch the app again. It says unroot me. You click unroot me. The same kind of thing happens. Reboot the phone. You're not rooted. The other one, honestly, I sent to you, Steve C, because it said it worked on the Evo, and it said it was a 1-click app. I cannot remember the name of that site.
I didn't have a chance to check it out yet. I'm putting it in Remember the Milk right now. Following
and
my theme?
And I can tell you, Steve D, those steps are not complex at all. It's a question of convenience and comfortability to pay 99 cents where you don't have to think about it. The steps all work perfectly fine. The only gimmick I ever saw was now Droid X, Droid 2, and I think the Aris, all 3 of them, when I put the phone into USB debugging mode, I could not get Windows to mount the drive, so I could only root them via Linux. I'm really tempted to start to advertise, I'll root your phone for $50 because I did 3 in the last week.
Really?
And all by the same method, popping it in to Linux. Yeah, it just works. Run the exact same set of commands that you're talking about, Steve D, where it's like 8 steps, and bam, it's rooted.
Wow, 8 steps, Steve. You know, you'd be exhausted by any time you got to the end of that.
Well, it's the biggest thing is these are totally foreign commands to anybody, period. Because none of us are hardcore into the Android developer kit, or the Android SDK kit. So it's like, what is going on here? I don't even understand these commands.
Yeah, I don't know. But by the 6th step, I'd be completely sleeping.
That's great.
Yeah,
and paid door $50.
There you go.
I just was like,
I did offer to
that. Sorry.
Right. And I did offer to Lalo and Russ, I'll be happy to remote into your computers and root it. I'll do the same to you for you, no problem. But I've had a lot of thinking, a lot of time, a lot of people talking to me. There's really now only 2 reasons I see to root your phone. Wi-Fi tether, even though you can already USB tether, but you can Wi-Fi tether, and the ability to get rid of bloatware apps on your phone.
That's the 2 reasons I would do it.
Yeah.
And they're pretty substantial reasons, but I have to say, I'm getting so used to carrying, I got a 1-foot USB cord. I'm getting so used to carrying it when I want to tether. Before I go out, I just take it and I just slap it right into the laptop. I take the laptop with me, and it's got this just a 1-foot cord hanging out. And I USB tether. And like I said before, the thing I love about USB tethering is it charges your phone while you're out instead of sucking the power. So it's like charging your phone as well. It's a nice thing to know your phone's charging, especially with the Evo. So I don't mind USB tethering at this point. So I still want to root my phone and get rid of all my Sprint apps, but I don't know. We'll see.
Door, what kind of speeds are you getting versus being wired or the Wi-Fi hotspot? Have you tested
I've
that?
never wired tethered, but I can tell you when I've done the FCC speed test on the phone, and then I Wi-Fi tethered, and then on my operating system on the computer did a speed test, I got virtually identical numbers.
Oh, interesting. I might be in the same boat as Steve D.
Yeah, and
what were your numbers? What do you download?
I want to say no. At one point in time, I actually pushed 4, but I think that was just like a burst, a lie. The average was like 1.9 to 2.2.
You need 4G.
Well, I need a different phone that does 4G. But also,
I got
the
one.
real quick thing I'll say is, if you do root it, you do not get rid of those applications. You simply rename them. Many people have said if you actually get rid of them and then Gingerbread comes out, your phone will not even ask you if you want to update.
That's when I take a shotgun to Sprint headquarters. I mean, you're going to force me to have my Sprint football app on there. Give me a break. I hate that.
There's not a whole lot of bloatware on my original Motorola Droid, really, honestly.
There is. Most of it's hidden. For instance, there's a app called is it called Zing that you never see, none of us ever see. That's a sniffer app that Verizon puts on the phone to monitor your activity.
Wow, I bet Sprint has all kinds of Sprint annoying apps.
Yeah, it begins with a
nobody
Z. I
knows
can't
but
remember the name
Door
of it right
Geek,
now.
right?
Yeah,
How do I find this app?
you have to root it.
Oh, really?
Timster, you're not rooted, right?
No.
Yeah, I think that you might have given him a reason.
Yeah.
Well, and with him and you, Steve, and all three of you, you have really, to me, the best reason to root. You can load a ROM manager and load custom operating systems that everybody I know who've done it, two people personally, swear it is so much quicker, so much more usable.
What do you mean? Quicker? What's quicker?
Snappier. Like everything is snap. There's no hesitation anywhere, they said.
You mean when you reload the operating system, like a slimmed down version of it?
Yeah, it's basically like Mini XP, but Android slimmed down.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
Tempting. All right. It's good stuff.
I'd like to do that. Yeah. Oh, I have actually something else. A long time ago I cracked my phone. Here's my, if you could see it, this is my little baby's face on my phone too.
Cute.
Yeah. Well, there he is actually. And it's still cracked. If you can still see it.
It's cracked right down the middle of his face, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. Looks like there's a hair on his face or something. But
that sucks.
well, yeah, so it's a crack. It's a couple of cracks that go right down the screen. So I looked on eBay of all places, and I found how you can replace the screen on these. And I found a guide on the internet and everything, and doesn't seem impossible. It looks a little hairy, the replacement, but the screen is called a lens. That's the key word. That's what's so hard to find about it. You're searching for the model number and the keyword lens, and then you could find it. Or it's technically the digitizer, which I think is really also strange, is that it works even though it has these large cracks across the screen.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's
that's
not-
strange too. It's not like old plasma TV. You get a little crack and then it's all over. I mean, this is
Yeah.
So it's called a lens. The screen's called a lens.
That's what the keyword to use on eBay if
Right.
you're searching for it. It might be different in different countries for all you UK listeners out there. I don't know if they're even using Android out there, but sometimes keywords are a little different in those areas. But for the USA, eBay definitely lens. And the iPhone lens, I think I might have talked about it before. iPhone lens is so cheap. You get them for like $4. Digitizer for 3GS. It's like $4 shipped, and you got it.
There's a business idea.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Pretty neat. Absolutely, and it's still a little hairy to do that install, but I looked at the steps. It's not as simple as it might seem, but being as though that the hardware is so cheap, it's definitely a very worthwhile repair.
Sure. People are
No
dropping
better
those
phone
things
to
all over.
try it on than yours, right?
There you go.
Well, he can't get his for $4. How much is your lens?
Mine was, I think, 44.
Okay.
Gee.
So
He's
yeah.
talking about the iPhone.
So I mean, yeah. Well, how difficult is it to do that repair on your phone, Steve? Do you know?
It's probably about the same amount of work.
Right.
But from the iPhone to this specific Droid, which is mine is the original Motorola Droid. But I don't know. It doesn't seem impossible for a laptop tech. For a regular
Yeah.
person out there, I'm not sure. I mean, you have to have
Go
a lot of
for it.
patience.
Do videos and take pictures.
Yeah. And the one thing I'll add is not on eBay, but podnutz.com/eBay.
Thank you. Even I
Oh.
forget.
Nice.
Good point.
You know, I bought something on Amazon the other day, and I didn't even use my own link. Don't tell anybody.
You
All right.
you can't refer to yourself.
Sure you can.
No. I've had an Amazon thing like that. You can't do that.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain, at least. That's how I remember it.
Yeah.
This was years ago.
All right. Any more Steve D?
No, that's well, the Nessoid thing. There are a few different apps. There's a few different emulators out there. So if you're not completely obsessed with NES like I am, or as Super Nintendo, you can there's a I think there's a Game Boy version and then a Genesis version as well. Pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a lot, but that guy, everybody says his emulators are the best.
Oh, it's fantastic. The quality is second to none.
I've tried at least 6 of them. Some of them video was choppy. Some of them the video didn't sync. Some of it there was no audio. His every ROM I loaded worked.
And the controls are really good too. They
I
have
wouldn't know.
on-screen controls and keyboard controls. You could choose which one you want, and you could turn one off, I think, or the other, and it's great.
Cool. And plus, you could fit like 1 million ROMs on anything these days.
I got
Especially
3,000 on this.
Nintendo ones.
3,000.
I do.
Yeah, because Nintendo ones are like, I think they're like less than 100K.
That's awesome.
each.
Yeah, I think they're like 50K.
Yeah, they're like 50K or something like that. So you can go nuts with them.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo, I think, are like 1.3 or 1.4 megs
Yeah.
each. So you could just go completely berserk.
All right, let me go over some apps here. I have it's an old app. Probably everybody has heard of it or used it already. It's Yelp. You guys know Yelp, right? Have you heard of Yelp?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Yelp is cool. If anybody doesn't know what Yelp is, it's you search for places like to eat, you get gas, you drink, play, and then read review. You can actually read reviews from the community. So it's a good little app if you're like out and you want to know how good something is, or if you want to know where a gas station is. But the coolest thing about it, and this is what I use it for, and I think that program you guys told me about, Layers, does it too. But the thing that I like to show off big time, this makes people want a droid, is when you open up Yelp and then you go to I think it's called the Monocle. The Monocle.
Yep.
It's basically augmented reality. So you point it turns on your camera, and then you point your camera in a certain direction, and it shows up on the screen, floating in the air, everything that's in that direction: restaurants, gas stations, whatever, and it has reviews and stuff like that. You just click on it. So it's basically like you're pointing through. You could basically point your phone through a wall and say, "Look, McDonald's is over there," and like it's like your phone can see through the wall. You know, it's that cool. It's definitely worth downloading the Monocle.
Yeah.
Even though it may not be the most useful thing ever, it's definitely worth downloading it and using Monocle just to show off your phone.
Oh, I'll argue and say it's very useful. As soon as I got the phone, we went on vacation to Ocean City, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's always changing down there. There's always these certain restaurants. But then, like, I said to my wife, "Oh, you want to eat Chinese tonight?" "Oh, no. Give me a second." Click. And I said, "We have to walk that way."
Really?
Yeah, and it worked perfectly fine. We just walked, went around the building. There it is right there.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I've got to try that. That sounds cool.
It's very cool. It's just a cool thing. Who's making that wind noise? Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay. I must be Steve D.
I don't know.
It sucks when you can't hear yourself because you don't realize, but unless it actually fit the Steve McLaughlin story, because he was talking about Ocean City, Maryland, and he's down on the beach and the wind is whistling by, so it was actually good background music.
Sure. Just trying to make me feel better. If I could only hear myself, I would be embarrassed, right?
Probably. Listen to the show.
I listen. I'll tell you, I used to before I had an Android. I used to, and I never had an iPhone, so I can't compare. But what I used to do, I used to take my laptop. I have a small laptop, kind of like a netbook. I used to take that with me when I went to New York City. It wasn't too hard. It was like it was like the size of an actual like notebook. So I'd keep it under my arm, and we walk around. My wife, and she said, "Oh, I want to do this. I go, okay, and I just lift the lid and just, oh, we have to go that way. And then I'd know exactly, because I would have Google Maps and a few other things open. Google Maps is fantastic, and it's full featured on the Android phone. And so for anybody that's going on vacation, plotting like points, making maps with Google Maps, and then bringing your Android phone, it's unbelievable with the GPS and everything. You'll have the spatial relationship between restaurants that you like or know of, and plus locations, maybe people's houses that you might be visiting, things like that. Knowing that you're 10 minutes away from such and such makes planning at the moment really easy. It's
Yeah,
really nice.
I use Google Maps constantly. It's just so awesome.
Finally converted you.
No. If we talk 10 more minutes about maps, then you'll know what's going on. But no, I do. I always liked maps. I just don't like talking about them a lot. But no,
they're maps.
I do like Google Maps. I think it's a brilliant app. I mean, when I mount my phone on my Bracketron in my car, it's like Google Maps everywhere. Where's the nearest ATM? And you can just literally type anything into that thing, and it knows what you're talking about. It's great.
Yeah.
If you want to, for anybody out there that is if you create on the Google Maps regular website, you're creating a map. What you do is you're creating a layer on the phone. So your My Maps is a layer and on the phone. So that's the thing that gets a little discombobulated sometimes.
Tell us more about maps. Let's talk more about maps.
Don't say that. Just gonna get more maps.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just add that maps are like the prototypical Android thing because the navigation thing is filled with Easter eggs. Like if you hit the little time thing down the left-hand corner, it quickly jumps to route info. If you hit the green stuff at the top, you can actually cycle through the turns in your route.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's little things like that.
Huh. On the Google navigation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And
the only thing I can't stand about Google Maps is it always dims the screen. I gotta lock the screen for it to stay lit.
Mine doesn't do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why I started just using navigation.
Now it will go off if you don't have it charging. Do your cigarette lighter or whatever.
Even if it's charging, if you have maps up, it goes off by default.
Not on my phone.
Really? Not navigate, not your GPS, maps.
Right.
The GPS, the navigation stays on all the time, but maps. If you just look at maps.
And the maps.
Oh, and just real quick, Steve. Did I forget my navigation tip last week?
Probably. What was it?
Basically, my navigation wouldn't stop crashing. On a an hour trip, I'll say, to work, it would crash 3 or 4 times, 5 days in a row.
Yeah, you did tell me this. Go ahead.
The gimmick was my compass wasn't calibrated.
That's right.
And then I properly calibrated my compass because I noticed when I was outside of my work and I looked and I said, north ain't that way. Right. North's that way. And then I calibrated the phone, and then the next day I said, well, let me try this friggin' navigation again. And it since then it's been worked perfectly fine.
That's I
have another tip too. I had somebody bring me their Motorola Droid X, and they were complaining that the navigation wasn't working correctly. It was off by a good bit everywhere they went, and they see, look, and I was like, yeah, wow, you're right. And I was like, what's going on here? And but if you go into your settings and location and security, you want to be sure that you have use wireless networks checked along with use GPS satellites, and that'll fix that little problem.
Cool.
I don't know. Well, there was one time I was driving and I picked up my phone. This is a long time ago, and I picked up the GPS and it said I was in Nova Scotia.
Are you serious?
And I looked out my window and then I quickly realized I was not in Nova Scotia. But I moved with my phone, and the GPS it was reading the GPS coordinates, and it still thought I was in Nova Scotia. Tried, reboot, and then I rebooted the phone, and then it figured out where I really live.
Wow, that must have been scary for a second.
No, I actually knew where I was.
He had to look out the window.
I believe in myself over the phone, which is not a usual thing for me.
Well, that's one of the things. The navigation and the maps aren't navigation and maps. They're suggested navigations. And you should never believe any of this through and through, or you will drive into a lake.
Yeah, I didn't drive into a lake, but it took me. It was wrong a couple times. It's always wrong when you are trying to impress somebody. That's always when your phone goes wrong.
Yep.
And that's what happened to me.
It's like
Now,
just like a
you
cat.
know, I'm sorry, Steve. It was really impressive to me also whenever I was traveling and using the navigation feature. As long as you don't stray from your route that the phone has pre-logged for you, even if you lose phone signal, lose service signal, your 3G, even if you lose that, your navigation will still work properly and will still guide you properly.
Yeah.
Huh. Good to know. All right,
Just don't veer.
What?
Just don't veer.
Okay.
Just don't veer from the original track that the
Listen to the lady.
The navigation puts you on. While you don't have your 3G, and it'll take you where exactly you need to go.
Cool.
I think the problem that some people are having is that they think that the little lady is the word of God. So when she says turn now, people they don't even look out their window. They just yank the wheel in that direction.
And then the fact that it's a woman telling you to do this, it's jarring. You don't want to piss her off.
Yeah.
All right. I want to have. I like going and tethering my phone to a netbook or my MacBook when I go out. But I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't want to take my netbook or MacBook out every time I go out. I'm like, I would like to just use my phone as my little computer and answer my emails. But it's just by using the on-screen keyboard, it's just too slow. And when I use my laptop, it's much faster. I could have the trackpad and the full keyboard and everything. So I'm trying to think of what's the best solution. If I could dream up a solution to use my phone, what would it be? And I think it would be like a mini keyboard and trackball or something like that. And you hook it up to your phone. So you could bring your phone into the restaurant there, sit at the table, put your phone down, and since I have an Evo, I could put it down on my kickstand, which you guys don't have, and you're probably jealous about. And then you put the keyboard. Oh, really? Nice. Nice. I gotta plug my Evo. It's just the battery life's so bad. I can't. I mean, you guys have more advantages than I do. Than I.
Oh, there's a kickstand. Yeah.
Yeah, he has one on his case.
But it was a case, yeah.
But I'm thinking of a fold-out keyboard. And
They had them for PDAs for Palm.
Right.
pockets.
Do they have them for the Android? I did some quick
I
internet searching.
guarantee you they have foldable Bluetooth keyboards. I guarantee you.
So any Bluetooth keyboard will work at this thing?
You might have to download an app that's a Bluetooth keyboard thing because I don't think by default it will accept Bluetooth as a keyboard, but I think you have to download an app. I was
Cool.
listening to a podcast, and that was something I wanted to bring up just real quick. I've listened to at least 20 different Android podcasts.
Mhm.
All of them completely suck. To me, they're all hosted by bougie people with 20 phones that can't relate to normal people's issues and usage of the phone, except for Android Buffet.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw it on iTunes. It's like a little Android robot holding a fork and knife.
Yeah, it's a guy named Gadget Guru who helps with Category 5 news, and a guy named Jerry Jones who is an Android developer. And they just talk like normal people about issues with their phone, apps with their phones, cool things with their phones, news about the phones.
Cool. Good tip. Thank you for alienating the complete competition that we have as well. And
No problem. They deserved it.
I was actually thinking about getting the Apple. Will the Apple track pad work with this phone? The Magic Pad, whatever they call it.
I honestly don't know.
I'm going to start doing some experiments. I'll let you guys know my results. And lastly, let's cover App Designer. Have you guys messed with that yet? Just released?
Inventor?
App
Google
Inventor. App Inventor. My bad. Yes, the App Inventor. I haven't had time. It's been a crazy week for me, but I saw it arrive in my email, and I go, I want to play with this, but I was wondering if you guys did. No?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you played with it?
Oh, yeah.
How was it?
I literally got my invite yesterday. And the first thing I did was I went and tried to find other communities with good tutorials for more spearheaded directions of what I wanted. And what it turns out is it is a kid glove tool, but you can create custom APIs, custom codes in Python, which is the easiest code everybody says to write in, which can allow for insane versatility with that app inventor.
Really?
The one I downloaded, I believe, was called Tiny RSS. And when you expand it, you have access to all the code, but the gimmick is you don't expand it. It's a zip file. You go into Android App Inventor, and you click Load File, point it to the zip file, and it loads it right into the App Inventor.
How many lines of code is like a simple RSS reader?
Well, that's just it. In the App Inventor, it's no lines of code.
Oh, it's a GUI?
It's all GUI. You have a front screen with just your basic concept and look of your application, buttons, images, sounds, events, accelerometer things. And then you have to download and run a second part, which actually shows you the building blocks like Lego style of here's the picture or button, and then you drag when button clicked, and then there's an audio file, play audio file. And it just all clicks in together. And the RSS feed, it's all in that same format. It's just calling custom libraries that the library takes the text box, gets the RSS feed, pulls the RSS feed in, and then there's different components where it's actually disassembling that RSS feed to display it in the screen.
Wow. I gotta mess with that. So did you make any apps?
I just followed the tutorial and made a purring cat app.
Nice.
Ooh, I want it. Send it to me.
Where you just click on the cat and the phone goes meow.
Great.
I'm already sold. You already sold
Yeah.
it.
That's
Where do I
great.
download this?
Right. And I'll say, if you want a good video tutorial on it, Hack5 did 2 shows where he went through simple app development, and he complained about Ubuntu and stuff not working right. I had virtually zero issue getting everything to run right, having the app actively displaying on my phone as I'm building it.
Wow.
And right there you can say, well, I stop at this point, click it. Oh yeah, it worked.
That's
Play
awesome.
some more.
It's awesome. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it, guys. Any last comments, words, ideas, thoughts? You wanna
Yeah,
go?
in the podnutz /forums, there's an Android apps, App Addicts section. If anybody wants to go there, have any questions, or care to chime in.
Absolutely. podnutz.com/forums. Go there, and we will accept your input.
Right. And today we posted a link to an uneditable HTML document of all the apps we picked and who picked them. And if anyone wants to contribute to organizing, updating, beautifying this spreadsheet, just let me know, because right now there's no hyperlinks from the apps.
Okay.
It's just a flat HTML file, and it's 76 apps long.
Contact doortodoorgeek@gmail.com for that. Okay, great. Oh, I just remembered as you were talking about that, we have some emails. If you guys want to email, we have 2 emails I'm going to read. If you guys want to email us, just send us a mail at mail@podnutz.com. We will read it on the show if I don't forget. And it's actually a voicemail. No, this is the one this is Timster's voicemail. We have one email here. It's from Hump Vader. Yes, you heard me right. Hump Vader. H-U-M-P Vader.
I love it.
And he says, hey guys, love the show. I rooted my Moto Droid back in May, and I've been killing Verizon with my unlimited data ever since. Sound like somebody we know?
Yeah, but come on, no. Keep reading.
The first month, I hit nearly 31 gigs. Haven't heard anything from them, and hopefully won't. But I know they probably have a price on my head. I have the Android Tether app, but I really only use it to download podcasts on my iPod. You may be saying, where does all that data go? Well, that brings me to a couple app reviews I'd like to give. And Torrent is a great free app. That's AND Torrent is a great free app. Timster might like that. The name says it all. It's a BitTorrent app for Android. The only downside is that ever since the last update, it won't run in the background, and as you might imagine, it's a major drain on the battery. I usually average 50 to 180 kilobits per second. Of course, don't download copywritten materials, kids. My next app goes hand in hand with this one. I have used it to edit. I used to have to download the video files, convert them to MP4, then put them back on my Droid till I found this wonderful app called Rock Player. It plays AVI, DivX, and any other video format flawlessly, and it's free. Ad-supported app, and the only ad is a little symbol about the size of one of your app icons in the top left corner of your screen. Keep up the great work, guys. I've attached screenshots of my data usage and one of AntTorrent. Let me make sure none of his account information is in there, and I'll show it to you guys. That is his. Can I zoom it? Go ahead, Dor.
I was going to say, I followed up and sent him an email. He sent me a couple other screenshots. 1 month was like, I think 31. And I think in the email, he had another one that was like 28 gigs. Wow. So I'm nothing to this guy. I sent Steve C a screenshot showing off. I don't even use tethering really. And I had 11.6 gigs in 1 month.
How are you doing that? I'm just curious. Are you listening to music? Is that what it is?
No. I do subscribe to a good amount of podcasts, I will say. And I download them all over 3G. Besides that, I mean, I do a lot of browsing. I've had headaches now for like 3 weeks straight every day because I'm staring at the phone so much. But
he watches a lot of the Big App Show.
He loves
TV.com. I literally woke up early last Sunday and I just sat on my couch while my kid was, I don't know, eating a waffle. And I watched a couple episodes of Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Never watched I never watched the original Star Trek. I did laugh when you told me about the episode where flowers squirt juice in their face and make them all high.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why I don't watch that. It's kind of goofy.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I don't think AntTorrent is in the marketplace. I can't find it in the marketplace. I have to Google it.
Timster knows where it is. He knows everything about torrents. Okay.
Poor Timster.
Hey, if you know anything about torrents, just talk to me.
Does anybody have anything else you want to go over before we end off? No? Well, I want to thank all you guys for joining us on the call. I want to thank everybody who's watching us live. Like I said, tune in 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday nights, podnutz.com, or just go to justin.tv/podnutz. Watch the video there. And that's going to be it for Android App Addicts for this week. We'll see you all next time.